and welcome to Piano School Publishing video tutorials. Preparatory level, this is page 9. Okay, on page 9 it introduces point, play and say. So point, play and say is the system that we're going to use while we're learning our songs, and it's designed to teach us to play the songs while reading them really well, and it's what we call a reading based approach. It's quite a simple approach. So the first process of point, play and say is we're going to do all these three activities at the same time. So while our right hand is playing the notes on the piano, our left hand is going to be pointing to the notes on the page. And I'll demonstrate this more a bit later. But it's important when we're pointing that our hand is held like we normally would as if we were going to point at something. And as we play the notes on the page, we must tap the notes at the same time on the music. We also have to say the note names. So as we play the note C, we have to say C, 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 etc. Okay. The next thing we have to do while we're playing our songs is remember that our hand in sitting position is still very important. So before you start to play, always make sure that you're sitting up straight, shoulders back, your arms are in that sort of roughly L position. Your hands and wrists, particularly your wrists, are sitting just above the white keys on the piano with a nice curved fingers. And remember that when you're playing the notes on the piano that you must only be pressing the one finger down, so no sticking fingers up in the air. And remember the way to do that, if you're struggling with that, just try to play softly, because when we play softly we can utilize just the finger muscles. As soon as we press hard we tend to push from back here, and that tends to send our fingers out like that. So, and it's okay particularly for young children when they're playing notes, if they hit a note occasionally and it doesn't make a sound, don't panic. We really want to develop that strength from the finger rather than from back here. Finally, playing with the CD. So all the songs in the Piano School Publishing books come with a CD, and it's got a backing, so it just sounds like a band. We'll go into that a little bit more depth, but it's very important that you practice with the CD all the time. So when you're first learning the song, you don't necessarily use the CD, but once you get to know it well, then it becomes an integral part of playing the music. Practicing and learning songs with the CD is going to help you develop excellent sense of rhythm. And more importantly, what it's going to help you develop is the skill to cope if you get lost or you make a mistake. So as an educator, I see a lot of students out there, not mine, but some other people's, where students get lost because they hit a wrong note and they just simply panic, and the only thing they can do is go back to the start, and it's not a very musical thing to do, and then everybody knows you've made a mistake. So what you want to try to do by practicing with the CD backing, if you do make a mistake, always try to get to the end. Even if it's a big mess all the way to the end, that doesn't really matter. You will develop a skill over time to keep going, and if you do make a mistake, eventually that mistake will just be one quick note and you'll be back on track immediately, and nobody will be the wiser that you've hit a wrong note somewhere. So on the right hand side of the page 9, this is what we call our task box, and you'll see this appearing next to all the songs, about the first 12 songs in the book. And this is so where we keep track of how our progress going with a particular song. So you can see this is for a right hand song. And the first thing we have to do is we have to do our point, play and say correctly. So either yourself or hopefully your teacher can check that off when you've got that correctly. Hand and sitting position is correct, hopefully a check there, and that you're playing it with the CD backing as well. All these three things must be completed simultaneously. So you might play the song really well with point, play and say and sitting in hand position, but you haven't played it, you can't quite get it yet with the CD. So if you can play it once you play it with the CD, you still have to be able to do it with point, play and say as well, and obviously sitting position and hand position also has to be correct. So all these activities have to be perfect simultaneously, and that's when the song's completed and we can move on to the next one. Okay, so I hope that all goes well, and good luck with that, and we'll see you for our first song.